Now, because this guy is broken and because he's such a fragile piece, I normally don't display these pieces, and I keep them packed. Ideally we have gun cases for them, but we don't have a gun case for this one at the moment. So I'm kind of going to show you how we would pack one for a show if it wasn't in a gun case. Typically we use foam for the areas that are the skinniest or they're protruding from the horse, like the ears. This one, his legs are all really skinny, so we'd probably do his legs and his tail. We get this foam we purchased in bulk from Uline, and it came in freight in like a huge roll. I think it was like 100 or 200 feet. You can also purchase mattress pads. They're usually a little bit thicker than this. I think this is maybe the half or the quarter inch, but you can definitely get thicker foam. We also line our show trunks with this type of foam. Typically it's, I believe, the 1-inch foam, which is twice as thick as this. And then even after the horses are packed, the entire show trunk is lined with foam. We used to, before we kind of got around to perfecting this, we would tape this foam on with painter's tape, and then at the show I would be struggling to keep that tape from tangling up and still be reusable at the end of the day after I'd shown the horse and was ready to repack it. And then I started taking a roll of tape with me, and that was a kind of a pain in the butt too, because it's still a whole lot of taping, and the tape doesn't really stick to the foam. And my husband came up with this great idea of using rubber bands, which actually work really well. It doesn't matter if they stick to the foam or not. The key is just to make sure that they're the right tension. You don't want the rubber bands to be too tight. If they're too tight, they could snap a part off by creating too much tension. And again, I collect customs. I would not typically do this for your normal original finish model, or I also wouldn't do this for a custom that, say, has just been repainted and not resculpted, because their plastic is all fused together and they don't have the extra epoxy work. Maybe on a model that had really thin legs, but customs are my thing, so it's taken years to figure out how to pack these. And then I think I'll do another video and I'll show you guys, we have pony pouches for each of these horses too. So after we have them in their foam, they typically go into a bubble bag. It's just like a piece of bubble wrap that's been folded over and heat sealed on 3 sides, and we just slip them into that, and then we put them into these pony pouches that are made of cloth. And inside the cloth is a layer of quilt padding that provides additional padding to the horse. And then once they're in the pony pouch, I will put them in another bubble bag. So they're in, the fragile ones like this are in foam, and then they have bubble wrap, and then they have a pony pouch which has the padding of the batting, and then they go into another bubble bag. And then once they're in the show trunk, it kind of depends on the show that we're going to. If it's a local show, we just put them into the trunk with the foam that's around the edges of the trunk. And if we're going further or we're flying them, we actually used to fly these horses from California to Kentucky every year. We would layer the foam in between each layer, and that would provide even more support for the horses. So this is the first phase of how we pack a custom horse. Thanks for watching.